Some interesting names have popped onto the list of coaching candidates, including Rams offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur and Rams defensive coordinator Chris Shula. So far, they've requested interviews with 10 candidates. There are a lot more vacancies in the league for those candidates to choose from, though. But 4 of them on this list have head coaching experience. Now to join us, to break it all down, and maybe pick a coach right here, right now.
Here we go.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
He's got it.
Obviously, if you heard the radio show, I know everything. So yeah,
yes. Well, if you don't know, he's on Arizona Sports 98.7 radio, always hearing the reaction from fans after the game. But what has been the reaction from fans or from your circle?
Oh gosh, Lena, it had to be done. Look, I know some Cardinal fans were surprised when the announcement came down. There were credible reports beginning in November and into December that Jonathan Gannon would be back for next season. And there were credible reporters speculating locally and nationally that Gannon would be back. But at the end of the day, and this is what I told people on that post-game show time and time again, the optics of what this looked like in November and December were going to be a whole lot different than what those optics were going to look like in early January if they were 3-14 and they had lost 14 of their last 15 games. You don't survive that. Mike Bidwell here made the decision he had to make. Jonathan Gannon and his staff were overmatched too many times during the course of his tenure here. We can talk about the losses. Mike and Monty certainly talked about the losses as well. This is an exasperated fan base. I think Mike Bidwell listened to the fan base. You know, he's got paying customers, and they were not happy. But it's not just about appeasing the fan base. Jonathan Gannon and his staff did not do a good job, guys. I mean, they had winnable games before the injuries hit. Couldn't figure out a way to win those games. And then once the injuries hit, they couldn't find a way to compete because they were outmanned, and they lost the headset battle time and time again.
I agree with you. I think Michael Bidwell definitely listened, Tim, to that fan base. You heard him say this is about wins and losses. JG and his staff didn't win enough. So now moving forward, can they get the big name out there? Will he take it a step further? Will Michael Bidwell take it a step further and show fans that this really is about wins and losses and maybe go get a big name?
I mean, if you're talking about John Harbaugh, it's not going to happen. I mean, a lot of Cardinal fans, when the Harbaugh news broke, hit the social media circuit and said this is the guy the Cardinals have to get. And they're not wrong, but John Harbaugh is going to have options, guys. Right. I mean, and the Cardinals are not going to be high on his list. In fact, if you read the tea leaves, they're not going to be on his list at all. I mean, here's a guy with options. He's won a Super Bowl. I think for the Arizona Cardinals, we can talk about ownership and the history of the Bidwell family, their willingness to spend what it takes to win, the NFLPA report cards, and all the stuff that kind of, hurts this franchise from a perception. And maybe perception is reality, and maybe reality is reality. But again, the quarterback situation, for a guy like John Harbaugh here, he has options. He's going to look at situations. Where can I go win? Where's there a quarterback in place? Maybe Jackson Dart's not the guy in New York, but hey, let me tell you this. The Green Bay Packer job may be open in a couple days. Okay, the Philadelphia Eagles job may be open in a couple of days.
So there could be some more big names.
I mean, so the Cardinals are going lower and lower on John Harbaugh's list. So I don't think it's a matter of would Mike Bidwell pay John Harbaugh. It's a matter of John Harbaugh has no interest in this job.
They're not there yet as a franchise. They got some things to figure out.
Well, I'm curious, what would make this job desirable for a coach? Whether they have experience or they're looking for their first job at that level, what makes Arizona desirable?
Well, it's a great place to live.
Besides the weather,
I mean,
right?
Hey, Lena, anybody will tell you this who's covered this league for a long time and who's worked in the league. It's one of 32. All right, somebody's going to want this job and be excited to get it. Now, it doesn't mean you always have to go out and get the young coordinator who's never done it before. If Matt LaFleur were to get let go, maybe that's a guy that you would target. Sure. Mike McCarthy, a lot of people are down on Mike McCarthy. I think McCarthy, much like LaFleur actually, is a high floor, low ceiling guy. He's going to get you wins, but what is he going to do in the playoffs? But I got to tell you right now, for the Arizona Cardinals, winning 9, 10, 11 games and making the playoffs sounds pretty good to me. Yes. So and Vance Joseph actually technically is a retread as well after what happened to him in Denver back just about 8 years ago. Yeah, let's talk about Vance Joseph. You guys kind of gave the rundown on the list, and maybe that list will grow. The Cardinals certainly have prioritized at least taking a look at the coordinators within the division, right? LaFleur, Shula, Saleh, Kubiak, and maybe there's some institutional knowledge they feel can benefit them.
Sure. I like that.
From plucking somebody from the division. If you can't beat them, get them to join you, and maybe they have the secrets on how to beat McVay and Shanahan. But Vance Joseph's an interesting candidate, guys, only because obviously didn't go well for him in Denver in 2017 and 18. He won 11 games and got fired. He was here, obviously. He was Cliff's defensive coordinator for a few years, 2019 to 2022. But he's grown. And I talked to people that are close to the Bronco organization this morning. What are the pros and cons of Vance Joseph? The answer was simple. He's learned a lot since his first stint as the head coach there in Denver. He believes in building a defense from the inside out. I think we need some of that there. The players love him, which is actually also a con when you talk about Vance Joseph, because is he too nice?
Sure.
That's what the source in Denver told me today. Is he too nice to be a head coach? Players love him, but also Vance Joseph is a guy that has been around the block, and I think if he has learned from his first stint, it could be a guy that Mike Bidwell, that he'd want the job, and that the Cardinals would want him. I don't love it personally, but keep an eye on Vance Joseph.